Hi, Dr. Marion Owen with Whole Family Medicine. I'm just sending out a quick update from what I can glean from wherever I can glean it about the availability of the COVID vaccine. So I want to start by saying that in DeKalb County, where I am, it seems to be currently limited only to healthcare providers. There are a few locations that are providing those. Most healthcare providers are getting them through the hospital with which they're affiliated. I was able to get mine at Northside. Susan was able to get hers at a pharmacy on Claremont, whose name I cannot remember now. But you have to have a medical license for that. If you are a healthcare provider and in DeKalb County, you can go to the DeKalb County website, health department website, and there's a link that you can follow to get that taken care of. That is also the advice for everyone. Right now, Georgia is officially in phase 1A of the rollout of the COVID vaccine. And if you want one, which if you're eligible, my feeling is you should want one, and I'll go into that in a minute. But if you're eligible, you are over 65, you are a healthcare worker, or you are both either a member of or a worker in a skilled nursing facility. Those are the people who right now, according to phase 1A of the Georgia rollout, are able to get the vaccine. So if you're in one of those categories, you need to go to your local health department website and follow their links. They're all everyone I've been to is somewhat cumbersome, but I was able to navigate my way slowly there at 3 or 4 different counties. Some counties do seem to be having a better supply than DeKalb County. It seems right now they are limiting it just to healthcare providers, not to that 65 or older category at this time. I could not find a link on the health department for that group. But if like Rockdale, Gwinnett, Clayton County, they seem to have a lumped together website. And at that county, there was at least a link that you could click to sign up to get a vaccine if you were 65 or older. They said that would be active until all the slots were taken. And so I don't know when that is, but you should, as soon as you can, go to your local health department, your county's health department, and try to find those links. They seem to be being inundated. All of them were very, very slow today. But that I would recommend that you do that. We are not signing up as a distribution site simply because we're such a small practice. There's no way we will ever get any vaccine. And so it will be through the state distribution pathways. My anticipation is that once there's enough vaccine to actually just give it out to the public, it will be being distributed through minute clinics at the Walgreens, CVS type walk-in clinics where you'd go get your flu vaccine. They're set up to do that very well. They have the distribution capabilities, and so I anticipate that's what's going to be happening, but that is not 100% clear yet. It may continue to be through the health department. I do not know. Nobody knows. As far as I can tell, there is not a way to find out. So that is the state of the art of that right now. So I am also getting a lot of questions from people about whether or not I think you should get a COVID vaccine. As many of you know, I am careful about how we vaccinate here. Our children, we do a modified vaccine schedule, trying to pace out the exposure, give the baby's bodies time to adjust to the different vaccines we're giving, and we try to pick the vaccines that are the cleanest, fewest additives, fewest remnants, least preservative possible, just in case it matters to the particular patient in front of me. I will say that what I understand about the 2 vaccines available in the United States today, this is the Pfizer and the Moderna vaccine. Both of these are a different type of vaccine. They're made with RNA. RNA is the instructions for making a protein. The human body cannot take RNA and make it back into DNA. There is no way, there's no mechanism for this RNA being introduced to you to go and change your genetic code. That is the crazy babble on the internet that is not based in any sort of scientific reality. if you've seen that on a video on the internet or coming through newsletters you might be getting, just delete that as a health information source. That is an invalid thing to say. That is not okay that people are saying that. And whatever you're hearing, whoever you're hearing that from has just announced themselves to be an invalid source of information. So from that is my strong opinion. I'm happy to talk to you about it more. But if that's kind of where you're reading, you need to be really circumspect about what you're choosing to read. That's a little harsher than I normally am, and I'm sorry if I've offended anyone. There are no strange animal byproducts in these vaccines because these vaccines are made without cell culture. A lot of vaccines like MMR vaccine, the chickenpox vaccine, have to be grown in often chicken egg, often with other enriching animal byproducts, because the virus has to grow and divide in something to then become something we can use to give the vaccine. With this COVID vaccine, there is no live virus in there. There's no virus in there at all. There's just the information, the RNA, how to make this protein information for one of the proteins that comprises that entire huge virus. Just that little spike protein that you see sticking out on the circle of all the COVID pictures you see. So that little protein is something that gets our immune system's attention. So they've taken the instructions for making just that protein. They then have encapsulated it in a lipid, the fatty membrane, something very safe, something you eat all the time. And then that gets incorporated into the cells. And the cells get that RNA into them, and what the cell does by its nature is read RNA and turn it into protein. And so it starts churning out spike protein. The immune system looks at that spike protein and says, what is that? That's not part of me. I've never seen that protein before. Let's make an antibody to that and get the immune system to clear this out. So your immune system revs up, makes antibodies against that spike protein. Now, if you're to be exposed to COVID, when it comes into the body, the spike protein is the first thing your immune system sees, and it goes, hey, I recognize that protein. I know what to do with that. Boom, you've already got preformed antibodies. Your immune system comes, takes care of the virus. That's why it's so effective. But the beautiful part of these vaccines is that they are super clean. The ingredients are like RNA, lipids, which is just fats, and like some salts. It was like sodium phosphate, calcium, something. I mean, it was nothing that was scary or anxiety provoking to me at all. They're kept at cold temperatures. There's not a lot of preservative in these things. So, and there are no microchip trackers in them. That is another news source you should delete. There are none of that. There is no live virus. There's nothing that's going to backtrack and incorporate into your DNA. I have seen all of these conspiracy theories out there, and they are all wrong. And if you are getting your news source from there, stop it. So the vaccines are very, very clean. The cost to us, to the community, to our elderly, to the healthcare system, to our essential workers in the grocery store, everywhere, of keeping this virus going any longer than we have to is enormous. The low risk of this vaccine is worth it to get us out of this situation. We've got to get the population vaccinated. So if you have access to the vaccine, get it. Please. I got mine last Tuesday. I was tired Tuesday night. I was very tired. I took a long nap when I got home from work. I woke up. Somebody else in my family had to make dinner. I was wiped. Got up the next morning, felt great. Still feel great. I also have been getting messages daily from the CDC after I signed up for the follow-up check-in. So when you get your vaccine, you get this link, it says go sign up here, and every day I've been getting a message from them saying it's time for you to tell us about your symptoms. So they are monitoring for strange side effects avidly, and I am watching that literature. I will let you know if anything changes, but as of right now, I am very, very comfortable with you getting this vaccine. If you are due for your shingles vaccine or your flu vaccine, and when you go in to get this vaccine, they try to talk you into getting something else too, don't do that. Just get this one new thing. Let's see how it does with your system. Get your follow-up vaccine. Wait a month or two, and then go get your other vaccines. Not a big deal. But don't get multiple things in one day when this is a new thing your immune system is being exposed to. We want to know if you do have strange side effects, what it was. There are also some reports after the Pfizer vaccine in specific of severe allergic reactions. Those have been both rare and not fatal. Yes, people have had to have medicine, they've had to be monitored in the hospital overnight, but no one has died. People are dying of COVID. No one has died from this vaccine. So to me, the calculation is very clear. Get your vaccine. And again, I'm someone who is super cautious about vaccines, super cautious. So for me to be saying this strongly, I'm serious. I've done my research. I'm serious. I know as much as I can know about it, and I am not afraid of it. That is what I know. So after you get your COVID vaccine, what are you supposed to do? You're supposed to wear your mask when you go out in public, just like you have been. It's not going to change anything until enough of us are vaccinated that there's not virus circulating around. We do not know yet if you've been vaccinated, if you can then become a reservoir, have enough virus replicate in you that you might share it with a family member. So continue to protect yourself from exposure. Wash your hands, wear your mask, social distance. Those things are working if people will do them. So please be one of the people that does that. After the vaccine, you need to continue to do that. People that aren't wearing the mask say, well, I got vaccinated, say, you need to put your mask back on, because we just don't know. It's a new vaccine. We don't know how long it's going to last. We don't know any of this stuff. So while I'm very hopeful that it's going to get us out of this mess, it's not, we just don't know. So we're going to pay attention to the data. We're going to go where the data leads us. Get it when you can. And my best advice is to know when you can is to keep an eye on your county health department website. And right now, again, we're in phase 1A, and that is healthcare workers, skilled nursing skilled nursing facility, people who live there, people who work there, and people over 65. Now in DeKalb County, again, I don't think it's available for people over 65. Either they don't have enough or they haven't mobilized to make that happen yet. I'm not sure what's holding that up. My guess is it's just quantity. DeKalb County has a whole bunch of people. I also think in the more northern counties and the more rural counties, we are seeing a lot of people who are choosing not to get the vaccine. While I understand that, I understand vaccine hesitancy. I certainly understand that there are certain communities who have been lied to by healthcare facilities or experimented on without their permission. And I understand if you are in one of those communities, if you are a minority, if you feel like you are not someone that the government is necessarily watching out for, I would love to talk to you about your vaccine hesitancy. I would love to have an opportunity to figure out with you kind of where your threshold it feels safe to you. But I would encourage anyone who is willing to go ahead and get it, because the sooner we all get it, the sooner we can all get out of this. I'm looking forward to seeing you guys in person. I hate this video thing that's happened to us for the last year. I feel like we are all about to explode. So if we could all just please work to protect one another, work to protect ourselves, continue to keep your spirits high, your energy positive. I know we are all exhausted. I am exhausted. We are all just done. We're done putting up with. And the sooner we get out of this, the better. So if you are willing to and you are a population that can, please go get your vaccine. Know that I'm not worried about it at this point. I will let you know if that changes. I will let you know loudly and clearly if that changes. Peace. I hope this finds you well. I hope that I didn't offend you overly. And if you want to talk about anything I've just said, you can call and make an appointment, and I'll talk to you all you want. Okay. Know you're loved. Be well.